Hey, what is up guys? It's a bit of a sad day today and we got another shutdown going on. Now about 2 years ago, I played this game called Artery Gear Fusion and I didn't know about this game at all, alright? Back then, I didn't play much games. I was focusing on Counter-Strike. I think Counter-Strike just came out around that time and a lot of you guys told me, yo GuitarRock, you gotta try out this game. And I was like, what is this game all about? I look up some of the screenshots of this game and it looked pretty interesting, right? It's basically a combination of mech, waifus, and it's definitely very unique. And this is definitely one of the more iconic wallpaper that the game has. And you can definitely tell there's plenty of lollies in this game, right? Now, a lot of you guys told me that this game was supposed to be the Epic 7 killer. And I was like, wow, Epic 7 killer, eh? But it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years for the global version. And today, we got some news on the official Artery Gear Twitter. Big shout out to Kitten Cuts for tagging me here, alright? And as you can see, we got this particular post and the final update announcement for the global version of Artery Gear Fusion. Now before we read this, I just figured, hey, let's just talk a little bit more about this and show you guys what the game is all about, so we have an idea of why I think the game sort of failed. And these are my videos, my live streams that I did back then. I did play it in the global closed beta test as well. Pretty interesting, right? You even have like the Artery Atelier Ryza collaboration. So let me bring this up. So this was one of it that I was trying to reroll, right? As you can see, very cool. So let's show you guys a little bit more about the gameplay, right? So I'm just gonna like mute the game as it goes. And as you guys can see, yeah, it's a chibi gameplay, you know, chibi style, but it's not bad, right? The gameplay is not bad, it's pretty decent, right? You move around, these are the tutorial characters. I was trying to reroll and I believe it's a turn-based game, right? It's a turn-based, you basically can use skills. Every character has the, you know, one normal attack skill and I believe there's ultimate. I believe there's multiple skills, there's 2 skills, right? And of course, with turn-based games like this, speed is going to be very important, right? So as you can see, I was trying to reroll back then, right? So they give plenty of free gifts and I think the game had a pretty successful launch. I feel like the launch of this game was pretty good. If I will be honest with you guys, I don't think there's any problem with the launch. I think the problem comes later on with the updates. I think the updates were extremely pay to win and it was very difficult for the free to play players to try to catch up. And also they make it in a way that it was collab after collab after collab, and that frustrates some players. And then the collab characters were also like, some of it were like kind of broken, right? I even spent money on the game when it first came out. I remember back then, slight regret, right? But hey, that's life. So this was like some of the characters, as you can see. Oh yeah, Jinja is one of the stronger characters to reroll for early on. I still remember back then. Obviously you want serious or whatever, but she's definitely one of the better ones, right? Now here's the truth. The announcement of the shutdown. Let's have a look. Let's read it. What is this going to be all about? Final update announcement for the global version of Artery Gear Fusion. Dear Commander. Okay, so let's read. Since the global launch of Artery Gear Fusion, we have gone through many updates and improvements together. We sincerely thank you all for your enduring support and love for Artery Gear Fusion. Memories of the exhilarating trials, the battles against puppet invasions, and the interactions with the Artery Gears are still fresh in our minds. These moments will forever be cherished in the vast universe. However, even the finest battleship must dock eventually. Due to project changes, the global version of Artery Gear Fusion will receive its final update on July 18th. And that is going to be today. Whenever you guys watch this video, right? That's going to be the final one, the last update. This update will include World Observer Tanuki, limited time events, and upcoming rotating gacha pools and events. Pretty interesting. After this, there'll be no new content updates. However, the servers, download, and registration, customer service, and other game services for Artery Gear Fusion will remain available. Now, they did mention here that we will continue to maintain the game and will do everything possible to provide commanders with the necessary supplies, preserving the treasured memories we all share. I've seen this with other games before. Usually they will just wait for a few months before they finally just close down the servers. They will just like to wait for a few more months, but there'll be no more updates to the game, right? And whether you want to stay or not, that's up to you, but I think most players are just gonna leave and find a better game to play. That's just how it is. Like you, we have a deep emotional connection to Artery Gear Fusion. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused by this final update. Once again, thank you for your unwavering support. We wish all commanders the best of luck. Alright, so that is the final nail, the final update. Now let's see what do everyone here have to say, right? So, I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner. I always had a feeling that this game wasn't going to last very long. That being said, it's refreshing to see the devs care enough for the game to keep the servers alive like this despite no more updates and respect. I do agree. Some of these comments are very wholesome and I do appreciate it, right? For example, right, that's a bummer. Sad y'all didn't get more fans of the game, but as long as I can play it, I will. Alright, that's pretty wholesome, right? That's pretty wholesome that to see that someone out there is willing to still play the game, and that's really interesting, right? I do appreciate you know, fans that love the game and definitely deserve a heart right there, right? This is it, and on the line of the final update, as this game is so underrated. I do agree, right? There's no EOS, it will remain active with all content to grind, etc. Sounds pretty rad. Usually a lot of games do this, but I think like, you know, not many people know, but usually it will just be up for like 2 to 3 months and then it's eventually just going to close down the servers, right? I've seen this happen to other games as well, but that would take about 40 minutes. Alright, now as you can see, this was like my reroll guide back then. The reroll for this game is pretty interesting actually. The game has I was watching this video and definitely it brings back memories, right? The game definitely uses a very different method to reroll. You have to go here to delete the folder because you can't really use a salted method, which is very interesting. Or you can just replace the name and then you have to download the updates all over again. You can instead of doing clear cache, clear data, so you can't. Yeah, it's a very unconventional method, I guess. And then there's tier list going on as well. Very interesting. And I remember this girl right here, Shura, was the first character in the raid up. Game was definitely a rush because they were trying to catch up, I believe, to the, was it the JP or the CN version? But you know, there was plenty of characters on launch as well. Pretty interesting. But yeah, that's the end of Artery Gear, and I feel like at the end of the day, that's just how it is. The character designs in this game are still top notch and one of the better ones, if I have to be honest, right? I know it's chibi style and not everyone is into this, but if you look at the lighting, the graphics, and a lot of other things that they use in this game, I think it's pretty good actually. If you look at the overall style, the overall vibe of it, it's definitely pretty good. And I think the gameplay is decent as well. But you know how it is with turn-based like this, you always get like power creep to oblivion, and then of course with the rush of the developers constantly releasing newer characters that are stronger and better, etc. I'm guessing that's just how it is, right? And then the collabs was stacking on top of each other, which was kind of crazy, kind of brutal, which sort of blows the you know, it just, I would say, destroy itself slowly, and a lot of players just slowly lose interest because of that, right? And yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but hey, that's it. Artery Gear Fusion, this is the end. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe, give this video a like, and yes, RIP for Artery Gear.